All right, getting into the hot topic for today's show, it is the great hate debate. And what we're going to do in this one, let's preface this by saying that, JD and I both love the Hanshin Tigers. And, we are not really taking what we say right now very seriously. In other words, even though we might be bashing some of our players, we don't hate them. We're just doing this for the sake of like blowing off a little bit of steam after the team kind of went through a bit of a rough patch. So I am going to right now kind of take the negative side on the hitters, and JD is going to try to defend them. And then we're going to flip the switch, and JD is going to bash our pitchers, and I'm going to back them up. I've got the back. I've got all your backs ultimately. But anyways, let's get started. Truth be told, man, I don't think Chikamoto is a very good leadoff hitter. Yeah. Okay. You find that hard to believe? Let me explain to you why I say that. To me, one of the big roles of the leadoff hitter is to look at a lot of pitches, to draw walks, to get himself on base as much as possible, and to get a good rhythm going for this team. What I've seen out of Chikamoto entirely too much is him swinging at the first, second pitch of the game and getting the first quick out for the other team's pitcher more often than not. I would love to see him gain the ability to draw more walks in order to kind of stretch out the starting pitcher for the other team and give the rest of our team a chance to see that pitcher's arsenal as early in the game as possible. And I think Chikamoto has really failed in that department. I don't hate him as a hitter. I do hate him as that leadoff guy, though.
Okay, well, this is going to be kind of hard because, sometimes you're going to be giving me stuff that I have a tough time disagreeing with. But I will say this, okay, in his defense, he's got pretty amazing speed, all right? And what you want to see out of a leadoff guy is someone who can steal bases, because then you have that chance to get that run home in the first inning and get your guys on the board early. So in his defense, I think the speed maybe balances out a little bit.
Fine, then. Let's move on to Itohara, because I've got a beef with him as well. This is a guy that came into the league. Yeah, I told you, man. We've got
this is going to be a hard one.
Yeah, I know this is a hard corner to do, but I hope it's going to be a fun one. For me, man, Itohara, I'm sorry, but this is a guy that used to hit line drives left, right, and center all over the field. He was spraying these hard hit balls. Even though he wasn't knocking them out of the park, he was getting a ton of doubles. And just like, I think he gave me a ton of hope earlier in his career. He was also walking a ton more than he was striking out. Now, if you look at his career numbers, that's the kind of hitter that he was. But these days, he's just not the same guy anymore. I mean, like his slugging percentage is barely higher than his batting average. And he has struck out, let me find the numbers on the season so far. And his strikeout numbers are not that high, but I still hate the fact that he's got 33 strikeouts and just 15 walks. This is a guy that used to be about a 1-to-1, if not more walks than strikeouts guy. So he's really kind of lost what to me was his greatest appeal. And also his defense sucks. He's got zero range.
Yeah. Okay. Well, again, this is hard. It's hard to come back against that. But in his defense, I will say it's always possible he's just having a down year. We have seen him be able to really be a scrappy kind of guy at the plate in the past. So I'm going to give him a little bit of a mulligan on the season. I think every guy deserves that a little bit. I shouldn't say that. We still got half the season left. I say he's got the ability to turn it around. The defense is an issue, I think, but I think he has the potential to make up for it at the plate. So take that.
Okay, I'll take that and move on to Marte.
All right.
No, I've got nothing to say. I love Marte. I think he's doing an outstanding job. The only thing I would say is this. Okay, I'm going to say this. Go ahead. Why don't you get injured already so that we can see Rojas? That's all I do.
Okay, the only thing I would say about Marte, and I guess I'll take the opposite side here, is because I have one complaint. I guess the Tigers were probably hoping to get a few more home runs out of the guy, like who's maybe supposed to be more of a power hitter. But I mean, man, look at what else he's doing. I guess you can't really say anything bad about that. He's getting it done in every other way. So yeah, I'll take it. Fine. Yeah, Marte, he's perfect.
He's on pace for 26 bombs, which is, pretty close to what Yusuke did.
Actually, yeah.
That's
true.
And speaking of Yusuke, let's go to Oyama, even though he's not our number 4 hitter. Man, can you not have a problem with this guy? There's no way that you could say he is who he's supposed to be. I mean, this is a guy, again, that he loves to attack that first pitch. Stop it, man. Stop it. I'm tired of seeing you foul out to catcher or fly out to third base on that first pitch of the game. Okay, I look at the numbers. He is batting 400 on that first pitch when he swings at it, but he's got 0 home runs in that situation, just 5 RBIs. So it's really not a favorable count for him. I would love to see him go a little bit deeper into counts. Obviously, when he gets to two strikes, he's not a very reliable hitter, but that's the case with most guys anyways. But I just think, man, like this swinging at the first pitch thing, I'm just getting tired of it. I mean, I just see so many outs that feel highly unnecessary. And then like, I just don't think he's got that swing anymore, man. The home run swing. He's only got eight bombs on the year, which is way below what he is capable of. And I'm just tired of slumpy Yusuke because that's just what he is now. And then look at his wrist. This past month, 143 with runners in scoring position. And on the season, he's around 200 for that. So I mean, like, right, exactly 200 actually. So you got to do better than that, Yusuke. You're the captain. You're supposed to be our best hitter. You're not.
Well, I mean, in his defense, we do know that we have hot Oyama and cold Oyama. He is a guy who is prone to slumps, and he's also prone to really big hot streaks. So I'm going to say this is just one of those lulls that he's going to come back hot. He's going to go on a tear at some point along the way here and completely prove you wrong. So get ready for it.
Well, I sure hope so. And I mean, the timing of his hot streak needs to come at the end of the season anyways. So I guess if there's any time for him to be going through a lull, this is it. And I guess I'm okay with it now. But he better heat up in September and October and even possibly November. Okay, Golden Rookie. We love you, Golden Rookie. But the 102 whiffs, I mean, attach a power generator to this guy because he could supply enough power for all of Kansai the way that he swings and strikes out. He is on pace for, well, if you multiply by 204 strikeouts on the season. I mean, that is going to be far and away the NPB record for most strikeouts. The kid has got to do a little bit more adjusting. I know I'm picking on the most popular player on the team and the player that is making the difference in this team being a second place or first place team. But hey, that's what the corner is. It is what it is. Stop striking out so much. Start looking at more pitches. Your 16 walks to 102 strikeouts, not very pretty.
He's also 22 years old, and he's definitely bringing those strikeout numbers down as compared to the beginning of the season. I think he has managed to trim it down, as far as I know anyway. I remember it was pretty glaring at the beginning of the year, but look how many home runs he's hit. I don't care if he strikes out, twice in a game, 3 times a game. If he's hitting bombs every game, every other game, I'll take it. This is a team that has been absolutely anemic in terms of its offense. Bring it on. I love the guy. So there you go.
He's also got the same birthday as Bass, and he's the next Randy Bass we've all been waiting for. There you go. I said it. Okay. Jerry Sands. I honestly don't have any beef with Sands either. I mean, it also helps that, he is a friend of mine, but yeah, I'm going to pass over Sands unless you've got something that you don't like about him. But overall, he's the man.
No, I mean, he's been a wee bit of a slump lately, but I mean, what the heck? Yeah. I mean, that's what happens with guys, I mean, you look at what he's done in the past, he's going to come around and come through in the clutch at some point here. So I don't care. Keep him on the team for as long as he'll possibly stay because I love the guy. Yeah.
Right. Okay, let's move on to Nakano. My only knock on Nakano is that he hits nothing but singles. He has got 6 doubles, 2 triples, and 1 home run. He's just a slappy guy. Put some meat on them bones, boy. That's all I got.
Well, yeah, I don't care because, I mean, you look at the kind of defense that we've had at shortstop, for the past, I don't know how many years now. The defense was great. I mean, even maybe was it last night or the couple of game before that? I mean, you get these balls that are hit that take weird hops in the infield and stuff after the dirt's been kicked up a little bit. And I just know, I mean, sorry, Kinami, but I just know that those would be absolute going right through the wickets, if it was Kinami out there. Nakano, he's got those soft hands, man. Picks it right up, no problem. That defense, it makes a difference for me. He's made some great plays. I absolutely love him. Keep him in there, slap away, as long as you're grabbing those balls that are coming through and not letting them get to the outfield.
11 errors, worse than NPB. Okay, let's move on to our catcher then, Umeno. No real beast with Umeno, who's batting .413 with runners in scoring position. He's also been able to get key walks when he needed them. He's fought through at bats, things like that. The only thing I'm going to say is this, and I don't know if this is on Umeno or on Yano, but give that man some rest. I want to see Sakamoto or even Haraguchi in as the starter at least once a week because we need, especially with Umeno going off to the Olympic team as well, we need that man to be fresh when it matters most at the end of the season. So if Umeno, man, if it's you saying you want to play every game, well, I guess you have to say that as a pro, but suck it up and take some rest. That's it.
Yeah, no, I agree. Well, I mean, he's the workhorse, and I guess probably some of the success the pitchers have had are thanks to him. So I can see why they want him in there that much. But yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, he should get the day off now and then. I don't know how much I trust some of the other catchers, but they need their experience too to hopefully somebody's gonna have to take over from him eventually. So yeah, 100%.
Okay, the proposal is that these exhibition games during Olympic break, you got to give Sakamoto and Haraguchi a lot more playing time than they've been getting. I mean, I feel so bad for Haraguchi, who is just rotting there on the bench. He might get an at-bat a game or he might not. At least Sakamoto is getting a couple innings behind the mask, but Haraguchi is getting next to none. He needs that time. And so exhibition games, play those men. Give them a chance to show what they've got. Give them a chance to be reacquainted with being a catcher.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's move on. Let's flip the switch. You're on for hating the pitchers. If you want to start with anybody in the rotation, you can go for it.
Yeah, man, this is a tough one because there's not a lot to hate in terms of the rotation. I really like a lot of what we got going on here. And I look at the ERA numbers too, and there's so few guys to really complain about. That's been our strength this season. So I guess I'll start off with I'll go with Ito Masashi. Now, I know this is a tough one because he was great at the beginning of the season, but I feel like, does he really have the staying power that we need? He's a rookie. He's still pretty green. He started off hot, but he's had his struggles lately. I don't know if he's the real deal. I think that we're going to see him give up a lot more runs moving forward. Maybe you can assuage my fears here a little bit, but I'm a little bit worried for him moving forward here.
Well, I feel like he's got the Iwata thing going for him as well, where he's not going to blow the ball past anybody, but he certainly is deceptive enough, and he mixes his speeds and his locations so well that he's been able to throw batters off. Did you know that he's averaging about the same number of innings per outing as Yuki Nishi?
Okay.
So if you want to question his durability, there's your answer.
Okay. Well, the proof will be in the pudding. All right. Okay, I guess next up I will go with, I know you mentioned Alcantara being quite good, and I don't necessarily disagree with that. I do think, though, he gets himself into some messy situations. He doesn't usually have a really clean inning. Guys will get on base and stuff like that. And yes, he manages to get out of it most of the time, but I worry that one of these times he's gonna get into a mess that he doesn't get out of, and it's gonna explode in his face, in our faces. Is he really that reliable? Yeah, I don't know.
So he's got the best velo of any pitcher in our rotation, and that doesn't necessarily mean that he's going to have the most success, but certainly I love that he brings that to his game. His whip is actually just 1.16, so he hasn't really been allowing as many base runners as you might have thought. Now, if we compare that, he's better than Ito. He's just around the same as Akiyama as far as his whip goes, but he is also slightly better than even Yuki Nishi. So I think that he, as far as the numbers go, he's doing okay. And I think that he has shown that he's adapting more and more to the Japanese game, as I think his starts have gotten a little bit deeper, and even, he's had fewer runs against in these situations. I love the double play that he started last night, where the bases were loaded with one out and the ground out to pitcher. Yes. He seems to field the ball well, and he throws the ball fairly well. Like, he also threw out a runner heading to second on a bunt attempt. So he's got that going for him. And it wasn't the best throw, but it wasn't an error. So I'm confident in his fielding ability, and I'm also confident that he is going to continue to just hang tough in there.
Man, I'm trying to crap on these guys, and it's really not easy.
We'll go to the bullpen. That's going to be easy.
Okay, yeah. The bullpen's a little bit easier. Okay, bullpen's kind of some low-hanging fruit here.
Yeah.
All right, first of all, Iwazaki. All right, now some people might say, Iwazaki, really, you're going to crap on this guy? I'm going to say the curse of the towel, okay, because he was fantastic up until they made that towel. And the whole, I'm so happy I kept it to 0 runs. Ever since then, he's been giving up runs, and I feel like
0 runs. Yeah.
That towel was the biggest mistake the Tigers ever made. So please comfort me. Tell me something good, T-Ray, because I'm worried about the guy who should have been pretty much our most effective reliever. I think he's cursed.
I think he's just in a bit of a rough patch. I think that he is going to come back, and you know what? For all that I have said about guys going to the Olympics, oh no, they're going to be too fatigued. Really, the Olympic schedule is probably less rigorous than that of the Tigers players that are going to be staying behind. I mean, all of these guys that are staying behind with the Tigers are going to be practicing probably every day. And they actually have more exhibition games scheduled than the Olympic team has to play as well. I'm a bit worried because Kota Nakagawa of the Giants, who was supposed to be on the Olympic team, lefty reliever, broke a rib or cracked a rib or something. And so he's not going to be there. So yay for the Giants for losing him, but poor Samurai Japan for losing him, because that means the lefty out of the bullpen is Suguru. So I'm a bit worried about Iwazaki in that situation. But I will also say that you know what, he has been so good for this team. I just can't imagine him continuing to crap the bed the way he has recently.
Okay. All right. Well, I've just got two more because I don't want to, jinx our Tigers too much either. So I'm going to go with Iwasada. What exactly is his point at this point? He seems, I get, you need a guy like him, I guess, in there, the sort of mop up kind of guy too. But I just sort of wonder, he's the captain here. And I mean, his ERA now is 4.43, but it was pretty terrible for a long time too. And I just sort of wonder, what exactly is his role? Why is he the captain? What is he going to be doing, moving forward from now on? You can't really put him in there in any high stakes sort of situations. So, yeah, he seems to be in no man's land here. So convince me otherwise.
He is right up there in strikeouts per 9. So he's been getting a lot of key strikeouts. He's also got very few walks compared to some of the other pitchers. So only 5 walks in 22 and a third innings. And that's all I got, because the rest of his numbers are absolute garbage. And every time he comes in, I also, hesitate to continue to watch. So let's move on to somebody else, because I can't.
Okay, the lowest of the lowest, the lowest of the low hanging fruit here. I think it's not even hanging anymore. It is on the ground and rotting.
It's been stomped on.
Feel bad for picking on him again, but Fujinami. I mean, what do we do with this guy? I see, he has these appearances from the bullpen, a few appearances back where he was just lights out, fantastic control, great location. Even the balls were not far out of the zone. And then lately he just comes in and it's the same old Fujinami again that we saw before, getting rattled when there's somebody on base, and just the terrible lack of control. I don't know what to do with this guy. I have no idea at this point. I don't know where he fits in the long-term plan of the Tigers. It's just going to be this infinite reclamation project to try to get some sort of value out of this guy, and I just don't know if it's ever going to happen. So please give me a ray of light of hope for Fujinami.
Well, his last outing, he didn't give up a run.
Wait. When was that?
Can I do I have to keep going? That's all I got.
Okay.
He had a clean inning. Well, relatively clean. He did give up 2 hits and walked a guy, but he didn't give up a run in his last outing. So that is about all that I've got on Fujinami. His April was absolutely outstanding as far as having just a .195 batting average against. And his strikeout rate, though, in June was 11.74 Ks per 9. So take that. That's it.
Yeah, I'm still not convinced.
Again, like you said, it's not only low-hanging fruit, it is rotting on the ground. I can't help but wonder, because we've talked so much about Fujinami. And, I think even 2 years ago, we said the only thing that is going to work for this guy is a trade. And I didn't want to admit it then, and I still don't want to admit it now, but that might be it.
Yeah. On that happy note.
Yeah, let's move into the predictions for the rest of the schedule before the Olympic break.